Guys, ito po ang Senatorial Gisahan 1-on-1 with PDP laban ko na sir, no?
Bagong Bayan.
Bagong Bayan, pero guest candidate.
Of Team Duterte.
Now of Team Duterte, ayan. Si Secretary, dating Tourism.
Yes, Secretary.
Tourism Secretary, Raffy Alunan.
At saka DILG.
At DILG. Doon po ba sa tourism under the Cory Aquino administration niya, sir?
Tama. Tapos kay Eddie Ramos naman sa DILG.
Ayan. Sir, bigyan nyo nga kami ng, interesting yung background nyo eh. Bigyan nyo nga po kami ng short background kung paano kayo napasok sa public service.
Okay. Actually, to begin with, I'm from Negros, nanay ko Kapampangan, 42 years ako sa private sector, 7 years sa public sector. After yung People Power Revolution noong 1986, di magulo masyado ang gobyerno ni Presidente Cory. And during the first 3 years of her term, maraming kudeta at matindi yung away sa loob ng kabinete niya. So there were 2 cabinet changes. Ako, pumasok ko sa pangatlo. And the objective sa amin, yung binigay sa aming objective is to make sure that there is a democratic transition by 1992.
Okay.
So
na hindi kudeta na naman.
Oo, na hindi kudeta na naman. So, yun ang ginawa namin. Kaya lang, in those 3 years na nandun ako sa turismo, puro crisis management. Kasi 6 months after I took on the job, pumalo yung 1989 coup.
Yeah. Opo.
Tapos may Pinatubo eruption. Tapos may Iran-Iraq war. Tapos mayroong Baguio earthquake. In all of those events, tinamaan ng husto yung turismo natin. So we were on crisis mode the whole time. And then, nung lumipat na ako dun sa administration ni Presidente Ramos, tinamaan naman siya from the very beginning ng mga brownout.
Power crisis
yung
na.
Power crisis, power outage. So it took him 2 years to wrestle that down. But mabuti na lang, he was able to harness the support of the private sector and international community. Kaya in such a short time, tumaas tayo, umangat tayo. Ang ekonomiya was called the Tiger Cub economy by the time he hit his midterm. Then I left in 1996 and went back to the private sector.
Ayun.
Hanggang ngayon.
Hanggang ngayon. So, what made you decide, sir, na bumalik ulit?
Ay, nako, RJ, 3 reasons. Well, I don't know if people will believe me, but I'm from the old school.
Okay.
At nung bata pa ako, ang tinuro sa amin ng aming mga nanay at tatay at mga guro, bago ka mamatay, siguraduhin mo that you leave behind a better Philippines for the next generation. Sabi niya, yun ang ating misyon sa buhay. Yun ay nakatatak yan dito sa utak at sa puso.
Okay. So maganda pangarap pero we need details. So how will you make the Philippines better?
So that's number 1 motivation, The second motivation is, in the 7 years I was in government, wala na kaming ginawa kundi ilatag yung reform foundations namin para sugpuin ng kahirapan, yung katiwalian.
Kumbaga stop the bleeding lang nun Ganon.
Well,
parang ganun ba?
Stop the bleeding muna, but set the stage for a reversal of our unfortunate situation so that we could develop, So ang focus namin was good government and development. Alright? Tapos pangatlo, sabi ko, in 2016, nakita ko na lahat ng pinaghirapan namin in the 7 years I was in government, para walang nangyari, walang continuity.
Sa palagay niyo, sir, ano bang nangyari?
Nasa kultura Nasa kultura natin, political culture na kung anong ginawa ng dating administrasyon, ibasura yon. Umpisa na naman tayo ng panibago. Sayang ang pera, sayang ang aksaya sa talento, sayang oras, sayang. Ang sino tinatamaan? Ang biktima dyan, ang taong bayan.
Sir, kunwari, manalo ka sa Mayo, ano yung plano mong gawin sa Senado?
Okay, 4 yung aking plataforma. Very simply, build the nation, protect the people, secure the country, sustain the effort. Doon sa yung build the nation, una-una yung moral recovery program sa pamamagitan ng educational reform. Second, titingnan natin yung mismatch ng ating education curriculum to the job requirements of the 21st century kasi may mismatch eh. We cannot contribute to more unemployment.
Okay.
So dapat may matching. Doon naman sa economic growth and development, which is the other aspect of build the nation. That will be through tourism development, agricultural revival, expanding the manufacturing base natin, and getting really into high-tech industries. To create all the jobs necessary and the livelihood opportunities necessary, not only to bring up the country, but to bring back all of our OFWs and reunite them with their families. Kasi national unity begins at home. At yung pinaglalaban ko is national unity. Bakit national unity? Sapagkat tayo na naiwan sa pansitan. All the other countries that used to be behind us have already united. Tayo naman, watak-watak, pansarili pa rin ang ating utak. At kaya't wala nangyayari sa atin. So national unity is so important to move the country forward. And it starts at the level of the family. Yung ating mga OFWs are separated and divided, we have to bring them back.
Okay. So, let me ask Secretary Alunan. Kunwari, manalo ka, kailangan concrete na steps eh. So, ano yung una mong gagawin sa Senado pag naupo ka?
Well, a number of steps actually, simultaneous. No? Yung legislative agenda ko includes, number one, reforming the criminal justice system. Tanggalin yung mga scalawags in the 4 pillars of the criminal justice system na hawak ng gobyerno. Kasi ang house cleaning, pag hindi ginawa yan, the government will be held hostage by infiltrators of criminal syndicates and terrorist organizations that are threatening the national security of the country. That's number one. Number two, restoration of the death penalty for selected crimes against humanity. These are number one, drugs. Number two, terrorism. Number three, plunder. Number four, murder. Number five, yung pagwawasak ng ating kalikasan. Pang-anim, yung human trafficking. At kasi pag hindi natin in-improve yung quality of justice natin at hindi natin i-impose yung death penalty gaya ng mga ibang bansa sa ating rehiyon, walang matatapos sa Pilipinas kagaya sa nangyayari ngayon. Kaya we are the favorite playground of criminal syndicates and terrorists.
Alright. So, kasi ganito sir
meron pang dagdag.
Sige, tuloy mo sir.
Yung modernization ng ating armed forces, no? Kailangan natin patibayan yan kasi sa ngayon wala tayong kalaban-laban doon sa ating exclusive economic zone or West Philippine Sea. Maski sino na lang makakapasok at bitbit yung ating mga kayamanan, no? At kalikasan doon sa dagat-dagatan. Kaya kailangan nating palakasin yan. Because without that, without a strong military backing, yung ating diplomatic efforts will amount to nothing also. So, diplomacy plus a strong military backing means na pakikinggan tayo ng mga ibang bansa.
Okay. So, sandali lang po sir, ayusin ko lang ng konti yung alright. Ayusin lang po natin ng konti yung video. Kasi, na-disconnect. Dali lang po.
Okay.
Okay, wala lang po. Pero narinig ka po nila. So, ngayon sir, ito, meron pong mga nagsasabi po dito sa live video na parang sabi nila, parang si Secretary Alunan parang matagal na daw na matagal na public servant, di ba?
7 taon lang, RJ.
7 taon.
Out of 49 years of working as a professional since my graduation sa 1970 in Lasal, 7 years lang ako sa public sector. Pero parang it seemed like 70 years dahil sa puro crisis ang hinawa ko, no?
Parang Duterte administration lang, sir. Parang 2 years parang 20 years na.
Tama.
Okay.
And then 42 years sa private sector.
So how can you assure us, sir, na alam mo, familiar ka pa din dun sa mga latest na trends? Kasi po, ang problema nga ng maraming mga tao, yung mga politiko natin na nagpo-provide ng mga solution na hindi na responsive sa pangangailangan ng kasalukuyan ba?
Puro band-aid naman solution nila eh. Ayaw nilang i-apply yung mga long-term solutions. Kasi kung in-apply na natin 50 years ago, siguro ngayon wala na tayong mga problema. No? Pero puro tayo short-term eh.
Okay. Ganito sir, kanina po nung ginas ka namin sa Karambola, minention mo yung you support the death penalty, di ba? Yes. Tapos you have parang 6 crimes, tama po ba?
Yung binanggit ko kanina.
Yung 6 crimes. Yung kasi po,
Crimes against humanity, RJ.
crimes against that's what you call crimes against humanity.
Oo, kasi mabigat.
Yung drugs, plunder.
Basta anything that threatens national security and the well-being of society, crime against humanity.
Alright. So ngayon sir, I'm parang fine and good na ako actually suportado ko yun. Well, most of them. Mga at least 4 yung sinabi ko kanina. Ang problema sir ganito, how will you rally support doon sa ibang mga senador? Kasi it's a collegial body. You have to gain the consensus of 12 other senators. Well, so how do you plan to do that, sir? Through
political compromise na yan. Kasi ano yan, we'll have to negotiate yan. You support my bill, I'll support your bill, ganun yun. But it will also require the cooperation of the other members of the cabinet of the president. Kasi nakakaintindihan na kami with the president. We understand each other already.
Okay.
What he needs now is he needs people to help muster support from both the executive and legislative. Doon ako makakatulong sa kanya.
Okay. I appreciate, sir, the fact na aware ka doon sa reality ng political compromise because it's really how it works.
Yeah.
So, pero of course, syempre ayaw naman ng mga tao na lume-level na ng sobrang horse trading na, di ba? So, ano po ba, sir, yung feeling niyo na where do you draw the line sa political compromise?
For as long as it does not affect the common good and national interest, then we will subject it to political compromise.
Okay.
And of course, dapat we must not cross the line once it comes to the code of ethics of public officials.
Of course, syempre naman. Eto sir, aware naman tayo doon sa mga strengths and more importantly the weaknesses of how the Senate is currently run. So, if you become a senator, ano po ba magagawa ninyo, sir? Ano ba yung mga gusto nyong baguhin kung paano tumatakbo yung Senado ngayon? Kasi natin, for one, ang dami masyadong Senate hearing.
Well, I have to apply siguro some reservations there to that question because I have to know exactly how they work inside. What we see from the outside may not necessarily be reflective of what's really going on inside. So, alamin ko muna kung anong ang tunay na pangyayari sa likod, sa behind the scenes. Baka pwede nating ayusin doon.
Okay. Na-appreciate ko yung sagot mo na yun. Kasi totoo naman yun, iba yung perception sa reality, di ba? So, ganito sir, nung pong first, nung miyembro ka pa ng Cory administration, tapos naging miyembro ka ng Ramos administration, right? Tapos po sir, ang sabi ninyo, noong panahon na yun, ang thrust ng gobyerno was to stop the bleeding and lay the foundation, di ba? Ngayon sir, sa palagay mo ngayon, ano na yung dapat na maging thrust? How did the situation change na?
It's still more or less the same. Like for example, we still have the insurgency. No? Matagal na yan, 54 years ang insurgency na yan. Pati si Presidente Duterte is galit na, bakit nandiyan pa yan? That's because we haven't learned to apply the counterinsurgency doctrine.
What is it?
It's a 20-80 formula. 20% armed forces and police to defeat the armed threat, to enable local governments to come in and deliver basic services. That is the 80%, to win back the hearts and minds of the people. No? Without the defeating the armed threat, mahihirapan ng local governments to come back and establish
order.
Establish order. But once that...
Ano 80%, sir?
Ito yung delivery of basic services and good governance. Critical yun. Kasi pag walang good governance, hindi mo na...
Kumbaga make them happy.
No, yung root causes, hindi mo ma-address ang root causes. Kasi una-una, bakit galit na galit ng tao sa gobyerno? Kasi walang delivery of basic services. Hindi sila
pinababayaan sila.
Pinababayaan sila. So kaya pumapanig sila doon sa NPA, sa CPP-NPA. Pero kung tanggalin mo yung root causes, wala nang NPA. There's no reason for them to exist. That's why good government and development represent 80% of the counterinsurgency doctrine. But that cannot happen without the armed insurgency being defeated by the armed forces and the police. That's 20%. Dapat panguna yun.
Question, sir. May isa rito sa mga live viewers, nag-comment po, ang sabi, tama ba to? Sabi ni Valencia Sonlob, he was once the brain do sa removal ng private armies and private armed groups?
Yes, that's Oplan Paglanasal. Yun ang sinasabi.
What did you do, sir, doon?
Yun ang sinasabi ni Presidente Duterte na Alunan Doctrine. Actually,
Okay.
this was a policy direction of President Ramos to the National Peace and Order Council. Ako yung chairman ng National Peace and Order Council at si President Digong at that time, being mayor of Davao, was the Peace and Order Council chairman of Davao City, but we also made him the Peace and Order Council chairman of Region 11.
Ay, okay.
So ang focus namin, one of the things that we focused on, aside from counterinsurgency, was the breaking up of private armies and recovery of loose firearms.
But just how bad ba yung private army situation ng panahon na yun? Just how bad was it?
It was all over the country. Kaya the National Peace and Order Council ang pumasok eh. Because ito yung sumasagabal sa ating rural development and economic development. No? Takot ang tao, kumilos.
So how did you fix it?
So we just went in there and smashed the private armies.
At talagang ano?
And then we recovered those firearms. So ito yung trabaho ng Peace and Order Council led by the local chief executives. Kung the local chief executive did not do his job, pinasok ko yung mga national agencies like the PNP and requested the cooperation of the DND to do that for me. No? Pero teamwork yan eh. It's not the job of one man. This is pag may utos galing sa presidente as commander-in-chief, we carry out the program, but we make sure that it's a team effort, national and local, working together to achieve the mission.
Okay. Sir, ito po, ano daw po ba yung stance ninyo dun sa issue ng mandatory ROTC?
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm a product of ROTC. And ROTC instills patriotism, sense of service, it improves your leadership skills, it obviously prepares you for war, and supports the requirements of the Armed Forces of the Philippines for officer material. All of this is for the national interest and for the common good.
Question, sir. Kasi po, we need to put a bit of context dyan eh. Actually, in theory, wala naman dapat opposition sa ROTC. Kailangan talaga natin ng reservists. However, remember, sir, na around 2001 or 2002, nagkaroon ng incident na may namatay sa ROTC sa UST, and that's why it was suspended ng panahon na yun eh. Kasi nag-aaral ako nun eh.
It's a matter of implementation.
So, what can we do, sir, para maiwasan yung nangyari sa UST?
Well, una, that was an isolated case. There are thousands or hundreds of schools with the ROTC program at that time. No? I think the more important point to drive home is ROTC at that stage was corrupted. No? And ang problema was that the armed forces was sending people, trainers, that were not really professional. And the schools themselves, binabayaan nila yung ROTC program.
Actually, sir, yung ROTC namin, natuturuan lang kami na magmarcha. Yeah. Hindi mamarel, alam mo yan?
That's what I mean. Yung ROTC program namin, during our time, was run by professionals, and it was really serious. You know, it really meant to develop leadership, instill patriotism, serve the country. Dami namin mga service programs eh. Parang Boy Scout kami eh. At we were taught militaristics and survival skills, ano. Pero as the years passed, yung quality of trainers na pinadala ng armed forces ay bumaba, kaya't nababoy yung programa. So, pag binalik...
So how will you ensure that it doesn't happen again?
Well, this is where the DND has to make sure that the AFP subordinates professional trainers to all the schools that will now have ROTC programs. And the schools themselves have to oversee. They have to provide oversight. Kasi mga estudyante nila yan eh.
Sir, ito. On the issue of marriage, okay? On the issue of marriage, do you support divorce?
Yeah.
Do you
Sure.
Do you support divorce?
Of course, because imagine a battered woman every day, from a drunken husband.
Ano gagawin niya? Ano?
She has to live, right? And kawawa naman yung mga children, That's no longer a good environment for the children and for the physical safety of the spouse.
We can expect your support pag nasalang na yung divorce sa Senado.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Next third issue, on sexual orientation, gender identity, and discrimination, SOGI bill. What's your stance on that, sir?
I have no problem with that. LGBTs are, I think, to me, are the most the people that I know are very compassionate, they're very caring, they're very creative. So, what's the issue? I don't see any issue.
Kanina sir, sinabi ninyo nung in-interview namin kayo sa Karambolan na gusto nyo sana hindi na kamukha nung stance din ni Attorney Lariga doon yung wag nang i-publish yung mga survey results.
Oh yeah, it's mind conditioning eh. Like in other countries, it's banned already. Dito lang ginagawa. Siguro, pang pera-pera yan. And also to probably related yan sa outcome ng automated election results.
Baka nagkaroon sila, no?
Oh, baka merong...
Nagtitiktikan sila.
Baka syndicated report yan. Kaya dapat mawala yan. At saka dagdagan ko pa, dapat yung election spending, dapat ang gobyerno should spend for the candidates para patas ang labanan.
Sir, kung if the government will spend for the candidates, hindi ba, paano sir?
Yung media time.
The media time. Okay. Kasi kako sabi ko, paano yung mga nuisance? Di ba yung mga nuisance talaga, no?
Well, actually, the COMELEC should make sure naman that the political parties, number one, offer candidates that are worthy of a voter's choice, no? Number two, doon sa level nila, tanggalin na lahat ng mga nuisance candidates, ano? We have to raise the standards of our candidates kasi doon nag-umpisa ang problema.
Boss Raffy, ganito. Di mo ba, matagal ka na aliado kay Pangulong Duterte. So given na nasuportado mo yung federalism.
Yes.
So ngayon po, ang problema sir, yung federalism, maraming flavor. Di ba? No? So anong klaseng federalism po ba ang balak ninyo?
Actually, hinihintay ko pa ang lalabas sa Malacanang kasi sa palagay ko they're still putting it together. But my own personal guideline is this: the federalist model that we choose must be tailored fit sa ating kultura. It cannot be a transplant from another culture. Mahirap yun. Papalya yan. But mas importante sa akin, ito, government and society must know kung ano yung roles and responsibilities nila to make sure that federalism succeeds in the long run. Sa ngayon pa lang, binababoy natin yung local government code, yung autonomy, yung presidential system, binababoy natin. Doon sa election na lang, ang daming katiwalian. If we bring all these mistakes to the federalist system, patay from day one, patay na yan. No? Kailangan baguhin natin ang ating political culture at our sense of responsibility to nation building. Kasi without that, we cannot make any system work in the future.
Sir, ganito, pag nanalo ka sa June 30, so you'll be there until June 30, 2025. No?
Huh?
Pag nanalo ka,
6 years, tama.
2025, ganun. Midterm lang ano. So ano po sir, how would you like how would you like a Senator Raffy Alunan to be remembered by the time he stepped down?
Well,
what kind of senator will Secretary Alunan be?
Well, I'd like to be a senator that would be remembered for supporting our PWDs and seniors. Kasi I have 5 PWDs in my family, and I'm a senior citizen. And when I look at the PWD and senior citizen landscape, ang daming pagkukulang in terms of support, no? Doon sa pension support sa mga matatanda. Cost of living is going up, but their pensions are static. Number 2, ang laki ng pagkukulang in terms of medical facilities, doctors, medical supplies for the handicapped. Hirap na hirap. Kami, hirap na nga.
Government office nga lang, sir, rampa lang papanik ng hirapan na eh.
So this will require real political compromise, no? Kasi budgetary budgetary reform ang kailangan dyan to be able to serve. This is part of our equal opportunity for all Filipinos. Ito yung pinaglalaban namin sa Bagong Bayan, equal opportunity for all Filipinos. Job opportunity, social security, food security, energy security. Basta human and ecological security, everybody should be benefited by it.
Sample lang kita na sir na issue na, feeling ko talaga, you will deal with this if and when you win. Ano? Yung sinabi ni Pangulo last week na he will be objecting to the renewal of ABS-CBN's congressional franchise. which is up for renewal kasi sa 2020. Citing daw na ABS-CBN did not pay various loans from the Development Bank of the Philippines. So ikaw po ba, suportahan niyo ba si Presidente doon? Or is there a way na maybe we can, how will you deal with it?
Well, I'll have to look at all the facts. Kasi it should be fact-based or evidence-based. No? If kung pera lang talaga ang kulang,
bayaran na lang nila, di ba?
bayaran nila. And plus all the penalties.
Ay, masakit yun. No?
Masakit yun. Pero ganun yun eh. Kasi ang tinawaan dito, gobyerno eh. So, if they want a continuation of their franchise, they have to level up. It's as simple as that.
Alright. Sir, ito po. Meron ba talaga tayo ngayong problem? Kasi isa dito sa mainit na issue eh. Ginawa na rin itong topic ng mga ng mga Senate hearing.
Yeah.
Yung issue po ng press freedom. Sa palagay niyo ba, is press freedom under attack? Why is it or why is it not?
In the rural areas, it's under attack because journalists are being killed. For whatever reason. No? Maybe those journalists that are being killed are not really journalists. You know? But there are genuine journalists that are being killed, and I think that's equivalent to me as killing press freedom. But if we're talking about
yung mainstream,
yung sa mainstream, they are as vocal as ever. And they say that President Duterte is killing press freedom, but every day he's getting it between the eyes. So I don't think so.
Pero sir, ito, request lang daw kung sakaling manalo ka, medyo ayusin nyo daw sir yung CPD law. Alam niyo ba yun?
What's CPD?
Yung Continuing Professional Development. Alam niyo yung mga PRC license, tas may unit-unit?
Balita ko dyan, ang daming useless training fees. Yes.
Mahal na.
Oo. Ginawang business.
Pinapatay daw yung mga teachers sir.
Tama.
Sir, ano
Pati na rin mga mariners natin, they're complaining, they're saying the same thing.
Kasi sir, tumitingin ka sa akin, ayun yung camera sir.
They're saying the same thing. Tama yun. Business. Ginawang business.
Ayun. Sir, ito daw, sabi ni Aljo LB, for supporting the seniors and PWDs, you have my vote and support, sir. Watching, huwag na kayo mag-comment guys, magbigay na lang kayo ng tanong para sulitin natin yung oras. Sabi po ni Naomi Brown Jacobs, ito may hirap-hirap na tanong to, is it true na dati daw po kayo supporter ng mga Aquino? Kasi marami dito galing sa Aquino eh.
Well, I worked for the administration of President Cory Aquino, and my grandfather was the colleague in the cabinet of President Quezon of the father of Pinoy Aquino.
Yung senior?
Yes, the senior. And he was also, my grandfather was also the godfather in baptism of Butch Aquino.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I also know Lupita
Kashiwara.
Aquino, Kashiwara.
Yeah.
Maur Aquino, she's my neighbor in 9th Street sa New Manila. I know Paul Aquino, the father of Bam. No? So, what are you trying to imply? Because I know the Aquinos, I'm not worthy of your vote? Those are also good people, by the way.
Okay. So, how can you assure us, sir, na it will, your personal relationships with the Aquinos will not, get in the way of public service if and when, issues arise na nagkakaroon ng conflict?
Well, let's put it this way. All my life, I've been an independent person. In fact, even in the boards that I sit on, I'm an independent director. That means they value my independent thought and independent stance on issues, which they see as objective and constructive. That is what I'll bring with me to the Senate, because during my time, when I served the country as Secretary of Interior and Local Government and Tourism, I was also a very objective fellow. I remember very well when President Ramos told me, make sure that everybody complies with our policy directions and reward those who comply and go out of their way beyond the call of duty to do so. And many of those were in the opposition, and we rewarded the opposition. So, pagdating sa independence, constructive thought, and fairness and justice, you can count on Raffy Alunan.
Ayun. Sir, ito po, ano po ba yung stance niyo? Medyo moot na to kasi veto daw ng Presidente, pero sige, Tanong nila, ano to po ba ang stance niyo on legalizing medical marijuana?
Sa akin, I'm in favor of legalizing medical marijuana because there are proven benefits. Like for example, my wife who was Parkinson's, no?
Ay, sorry.
Which is an incurable disease, but medical marijuana can alleviate the problem.
Actually, totoo yun. Kasi yun ang kwento nung kay Michael J. Fox.
Yes.
Yung sa Back to the Future na actor, may Parkinson's din yun eh. Opo. So supportado nyo po kung sakali yung medical
Wag lang yung recreational marijuana.
Ay, usapan yun.
That leads to other things, no?
Tsaka na lang yun. Alright. Sir, ito po. Sa palagay nyo, sir, bilang, what makes a good senator? 3 most important qualities.
Well, think of the national interest all the time and common good. That's number 1. Number 2, be true to your oath of office. No? And number 3, don't count the hours when you serve the people.
Marami nagbibilang, sir eh. Meron mga hindi nagbibilang, natutulog nga lang. Meron din po. So, ito po sir, natin tayo sa huling habilin portion. Okay? So, state your name, kung ano po yung number niyo sa balota, and a short 1-minute elevator speech. Explaining po, convincing them. Kumari, ngayon lang ako nag-log in eh. Ngayon lang, may interview pala sa Sec Raffy. Convince me to vote for you. Parang gano'n.
Okay. Well, ako po ay si Raffy Alunan, number 7 po sa balota. Kandidato ng Bagong Bayan Party under Senator Dick Gordon. Pero kasama sa Team Duterte as personal choice of President Digong. I'm very happy na ako'y bumabalik sa serbisyo publiko. Meron itong pagkakataon na ito ay nabigay sa akin because I really would like to go back and help the country. In 7 years that I served as your Secretary of Tourism and Interior and Local Government, nakatuto kami sa reform agenda para malutas natin yung problema ng kahirapan, katiwalian, insurgency, terrorismo, etc. Ang problema, hanggang ngayon nandiyan pa. At I think I have enough knowledge at experience, meron akong kakayahan at karanasan to be able to help the present administration and future administrations in finally reaching a level of common understanding on how to solve these problems once and for all. I served with honor and integrity. I entered public service with not enough money, and I also left with almost exactly the same amount of money in my wallet. Mabuti na lang meron akong nanay that supported my family. I do not steal, I do not lie, I do not cheat, I do not kill. And but if I have to defend my country against people who threaten society, I am prepared to go all the way to protect society, to protect the Filipino people. Sapagkat ang laban ko at laban nating lahat ay para sa pamilyang Pilipino. This is for our future, this is for the future of our grandchildren and succeeding generations. Before I die, I would like to be able to look at my children, at aking mga apo, straight in the eye to say that your grandfather, your father, did his best to help bring about a new Philippines for all Filipinos with equal opportunity for all. And I would like to ask every adult, Filipino adult, dito sa ating lipunan, to look at their mission in life in those terms. Sapagkat we are here to make sure that we leave behind a better Philippines for the next generation. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, contestant number 3. Galing. Ayos yun, ha? Again, ito po, final question, sir, na mababaw lang.
Opo.
May lahi pa kayong foreigner? Maganda lahi niyo eh.
Well, ang sabi sa akin ng father side ko, na yung aming lahi stretches all the way to the Middle East sa Yemen. So bumaba yung mga ancestors ko sa North Borneo, tapos umakyat doon sa Sulu Sea, and then settled down sa Panay at saka sa Negros. On my mother's side naman, our ancestors come from France and Spain.
Social, okay. May
And so yung
orders.
yung lahi ng Europe at saka Moro, gano'n na nangyari. Kaya ang breed, nung tinanong ako sa Agusan del Norte,
Ano breed nyo daw?
ano pong breed ninyo? Sabi ko, Ascal.
Hindi, gano'n naman at ang Pilipino, halo-halo talaga. So ayun, maraming salamat po Secretary Raffy Alunan. Ito po ang Senatorial Gisahan 1-on-1, Episode 11.
Maraming salamat, RJ.
Alright, salamat po.